conference will now be recorded.
Welcome back to the Azure Data Factory Beginner Series by Cloud Pandit Trainings team. In this video, we are going to learn how to schedule Azure Data Factory pipeline automatically using schedule triggers. So this is a hands-on focused session team where we will not only understand the concept, but also see how to configure it practically. So like before we jump into the demo team, let's quickly understand what we are going to cover in this particular video. So Azure Data Factory supports different types of triggers team. So in this session, we will briefly look at different types of triggers. Then we will focus on a schedule trigger. We will understand what is schedule trigger, how to use when to use this schedule trigger and all these things. So by the end of this video, you will be able to create a schedule trigger and run the pipelines automatically based on the time tip. So Azure Data Factory provides a multiple trigger types. So one of it is a schedule trigger. It is used when pipeline needs to run based on time, meaning every minute, every day, every week, every hour, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month. Okay, that is the different timings. Next, we have a tumbling window trigger. It is used mainly for incremental and window-based processing or historical data or backfill data. We will be using tumbling window trigger. So next we have a event-based trigger. It is used when new file arrived into the blob, when file deleted in the blob storage. If you want to trigger a pipeline based on file events, we will use the event-based trigger. So in today's video, our focus is only on the schedule trigger team. So we will cover other trigger types in the upcoming sessions. So now let's understand what a schedule trigger is. Right, a schedule trigger runs a pipeline automatically based on a time team. Once configured, the pipelines run at a fixed schedule without manual intervention. Automatically, it is going to run. So the common schedule includes hourly, daily, weekly runs team. And schedule triggers are mostly used for batch processing workloads. Batch processing means it will show data for an hour and process. It show data for a day and it will process. So that's how it will process the data. So let's understand when schedule trigger should be used. Right? If your pipeline needs to run on a fixed time, such as every day, every hour. So these schedule triggers are the best choice team. So for example, daily sales data you want to process maybe morning at 10 a.m., night at 11 a.m., sorry, 11 p.m. If you want to run your pipeline, you can able to use simply a schedule trigger to achieve this kind of a real-time, real-world use case system. Now let's understand, let's compare the manual execution versus schedule trigger execution team. As we discussed yesterday, manual runs require a user to start the pipeline every time. They are mainly used during development and testing team. When it comes to the schedule trigger, on the other hand, they are fully automated. They are used in the production environment and they are ensures that pipelines are running on time. It's time to let me show you the demo team. If you come here, so I have created already a blob storage, which is my source, where I have a product container. Inside that I have uploaded product.csv file. My sink is data lake storage. I created a sink data lake, created a global container. Inside that subfolders I created dev branch, inside branch product. Then we have a you don't have any data. So now using the Azure Data Factory pipeline with the schedule trigger, I want to copy this particular file from source blob to sink data lake. For that, if you see the data factory in manage tab, you can see I have created a two linked service system, one for blob, one for data lake. Then come to author tab, you can see I created a blob data set which points to the product folder. Inside product folder, we have product.csv file. We have a a data set for data lake storage gen2 where it is pointing to the target folder where it has to copy. Then I created a pipeline, then I dragged copy activity, configured source and sync for this. Now we will understand how to schedule this particular pipeline. Once you create a trigger, okay, we will first understand how to create a schedule trigger and how to attach that particular schedule trigger to the existing pipeline and see how it will run automatically. Okay, so there are multiple ways to do that, but the easiest way is on top of pipeline you can see add trigger, click on new slash edit trigger, click on new trigger. So you can give the name for your trigger, sales daily. It is a type of trigger schedule. It is very important, team. The start date, you have to give the start date. And then very important point, if you look at your time zone, if you want ist you can choose ist, if you want utc you can go for utc, if you want different time zones, make sure you are choosing the right time zone. After that you can schedule this particular pipeline for every minute, every hour, right? So next you can schedule this pipeline every day. Let me fix this here. Let's say I'm activating at 1 o'clock so that it will be easy for me to explain to you and you can also understand the things. Let's say my trigger start time is 1 o'clock today, 1 a.m. morning. So every minute when I say 1 o'clock, 1 minute, 1 o'clock, 2 minutes, every minute it will run. Every hour means 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. every hour. So every day means it runs a pipeline based on the time that you are giving. For example, now I am giving it is in a 24 hours format. You have to be very careful. 13 hours, 31 minute I am giving. 13 hours, 30 minutes I am 31 minutes. 13 hours, 31 minute I am giving. So so this is how you can able to schedule the like daily trigger. For example, weekly trigger, you can say I want run only on weekend, Saturday and Sunday. At what time? Same 1 o'clock, 31 minutes. No, I want monthly. Select month. You can choose first of month, fifth of every month, or last day of month. You can choose. This is what the schedule trigger, where you can schedule the pipeline based on time. Now I am scheduling my pipeline to run every day at 13 o'clock 31 minute. Do you have any end time? If you have any end time, you can able to select that end time, but I want to continuously run and I am starting this particular trigger tip. After that, click ok, click ok. Then very important point here is publisher. So I'm just revising all the important settings, team. You have to choose the while configuring the schedule trigger, very important setting is, first thing is you have to select the correct time zone, team. Second one is you need to make sure your start time is set in the future. Don't forget to publish the trigger. So we just published the trigger. So if your trigger is not published, if your trigger is in a disabled state, then your pipeline will not run. But if a trigger is not published, we can clearly see it will ask you to publish. But if it is disabled, how to check? Let me show you. Click on trigger, click on new slash edit, click on this trigger, come down, you can see status has started. Started means it is active. Your trigger is active, team. Your trigger is active. I can simply cancel, because if you again click next, it will ask you to publish. Now the time is 1 o'clock 30 minutes. Let's go to monitor tab. In monitor tab under triggered, you have to wait for 1 more minute to see pipeline run will start. So meantime, I just wanted to revise once again. The important settings to remember is time zone, frequency. uh, Time zone means you want ist, utc. What do you want? Frequency, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month. When you want start time, at what time you want to start your trigger. For example, today I started my trigger at 1 a.m. in the morning. Next, publishing is very important. After publishing, you have to check your trigger status, whether it is started or it is in a stopped state. So always select the correct time zone, team. In case if you select a wrong time zone, your pipeline will not run on desired time that you are expecting. And one more thing is, make sure that your pipeline is published. Now the time is 1 o'clock 31 minutes, like 13 hours 31 minute. I'm just refreshing to see my pipeline. Looks like my pipeline is not running. So let's validate. It is very good scenario to validate why my pipeline is not running. So you come here every day, 13 o'clock 31 minute, and this is IST. Trigger start time is 1 a.m. today. I don't see any issue for your trigger. Now I think once again you go back to the monitor tab and refresh it. Just refresh this. Okay, looks like some problem, right? So what I can do, I can go to pipeline, click on trigger, click on new slash trigger, come down and check status is started. 13 hours 31 minute is just over. Every day in IST scheduled trigger is started just 1 a.m. in the morning. Looks like we don't have any problem with this, but still our pipeline is not running, right? It's very surprising. Just refresh overall. I'm clicking once again to see what is happening with this pipeline. Trigger name, schedule trigger. Uh, this is January 14th, 1 a.m. I have activated this one. Say cancel it every day. Looks like everything is fine. Still, why I'm not able to see this trigger? Is there any filters here? No. Yeah, as we see, there is a issue, right? Let's try to fix it by adding one more time, because I think it must be a temporary issue. But let me just add 1 o'clock 37 minute. Now let me publish all team. Click publish. Now we are expected to run this pipeline by 137. If it is not running at 137 still, so we need to really look into it where we are making mistake. But it's very simple. I don't see any mistake from our end. It must be a temporary issue, or we need to wait for some time to see whether ADF has any, you can say, temporary issue. If there is no temporary issue, maybe we need to raise a ticket to Microsoft to understand why this is not running. Because if you look at your triggers, these triggers or whatever we have given, everything is perfect. Time zone we have given IST. Every day we are running pipeline at 13 hours 37. You can also see here it is 13 hours 31 minutes, 13 hours 37 seconds, sorry, minutes. And the trigger is active state only. Now we scheduled at 1:37. Let's wait here and see. Let's wait for a few seconds team. So if you see now, like 1 o'clock 37 minutes, it picked. I think what might happen is at 1 o'clock 31 minutes, we were having it some temporary issue team. So that is the problem with design. We also have to understand, in case if it is not triggered, we have to identify why this is not triggered. So to handle these kind of issues in real time, what happens is whenever we schedule pipeline at, let's say, daily 1:30, when pipeline started, we will just trigger a notification saying that today job is just started. If today job is not started, meaning if we are not receiving any notification at 1 o'clock 30 minutes, so support team generally will go and check why I have not received a pipeline started notification. Maybe trigger not started. Team will go and run it manually in such cases. I hope everybody understood now. So this pipeline is succeeded. If you go to sync, if you refresh here, we can also able to see the file here. So now we will let's understand, as I already discussed, Tim, selecting the correct time zone is very important. Then you need to choose appropriate frequency, whether it is every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month. And start time is important. Trigger must be published. And after publishing, you need to see your trigger is started or failed, in which case it will go into the stopped status. For example, you don't have a proper permissions to set up event based trigger or storage account access. In such cases, when you publish, it will go to stopped state. It will not throw any error. So that's why it's very important settings you need to remember. Common mistakes with the scheduled triggers is forgetting to publish the trigger. Selecting a wrong time zone is a problem, Tim. If you select a wrong time zone, your pipeline will not trigger. Similarly, using triggers during testing. So while testing, you don't use the triggers, it will increase the cost, because sometimes what happens, developers or testers, they will leave unused triggers enabled, meaning they will enable the trigger, but they will not use it. What happens? The cost will be increasing. So the key takeaway is scheduled triggers automate pipelines based on the time tape. It is used for batch processing. It is mainly for production environment where we are running pipeline every day and batch data processing. Always verify trigger status after publishing. It is very important point. So in next session, we will see how to process our incremental data using the tumbling window trigger team. So now I'm going to present 5 MCQs. Please try to answer and get at least 4. If you get 4, well and good. If you are getting less than 4, rewatch the session once again and answer this particular MCQs team. Along with that, please join our WhatsApp and Telegram group for getting some sample materials and some more assignments. And finally, please support our channel by like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.